At ease, Commanders. Today we're going to talk about how to use the Thallax Cohort in your games of Legions Imperialis. We'll start first with an overview of the detachment and its characteristics, weapons, upgrades, and special rules. 25 points gets you the base detachment of 2 Thallax. They have a 7-inch move, a save of 5+, a calf of +1, a morale of 3+, and a single wound. Each stand has 2 weapons, lightning guns, and a Thallax plasma fusel. The lightning guns have a range of 8 inches, fire 2 dice, hit on 5 up, with an AP of -1. The Thallax plasma fusel has a range of 10 inches, fires 1 die, hits on 4+, with an AP of -1. Both weapons have the light AT trait, which make them very potent and flexible for an infantry detachment. You can upgrade your Thallax cohort with up to 6 additional Thallax, giving a maximum detachment size of 8. Unless you're playing a low points limit game, I definitely recommend taking a full detachment if you can, because even a detachment of 8 can be fairly brittle if you expose them to too much enemy fire. The Thallax cohort has only one special rule, but it is a very important one. They are equipped with jump packs, which, while giving them the bulky rule, also allow them to move over terrain and enemy units unimpeded. This, combined with their base 7-inch movement, means they are an incredibly maneuverable detachment. Jump packs also give them +1 to their fight rolls when fighting infantry garrisoned in a structure, so long as the Thallax are on a charge order. I would advise against this, however, unless it is absolutely necessary. Attacking a fortified, fixed position really negates the maneuverability of the Thallax, and their base calf and detachment size do not make them suited for this kind of close assault. Leave such tasks to their cousins, the Ursarax. Jump packs also theoretically allow them to disembark easily from flying transports, but since the Mechanicum at present have no such vehicles, we won't get to take advantage of that. Now that we have a basic understanding of the Thallax cohort, let's consider its strengths. I think by far the greatest strength of this detachment is simply the weight of fire it can bring to bear on just about any target. The sheer number of dice that it can muster means that it is great at killing infantry, and because their weapons have the light AT special rule, Astartes will not be able to use their Medicae special rule. Just be careful that you don't stray too close, as the calf of the Thallax and their small detachment size means they don't have much staying power. In addition, light AT will help you chew through armored units like Astartes dreadnoughts, and even vehicles will be vulnerable due to the sheer weight of fire you can direct upon them, especially because your maneuverability will allow you to get into the rear arc of vehicles for that -1 AP. Because of their base speed and the benefits of having jump packs, the Thallax are some of the most maneuverable infantry currently in the game. Because they can move over terrain and enemy models, you can easily place the Thallax at positions of advantage, meaning that you can occupy objectives that the enemy has neglected, or go after isolated but important targets that might be lurking in the enemy's rear area. While the Thallax cohort is an excellent detachment overall, with strong weapons and maneuverability, it does have some weaknesses. The first is simply that its detachment size is fairly small. Because of that, even with its decent morale, it can be brittle. Make sure that you keep them in good cover or out of line of sight entirely, and use your superior maneuverability to ensure that you engage the enemy at a time and place of your choosing. Their close assault factor is also another weakness. While +1 isn't bad, it isn't great either. Even going up against Solar Auxilia, a skilled opponent will turn that into an even fight. If you do have to risk close assault with the Thallax, do everything you can to boost their calf. Structures, with their +2 bonus, are probably your best option. The other thing you can do is simply to make sure that you are out of charge range. Save your Thallax activations until the end of the movement phase, and you should be able to place them near an enemy detachment that is already activated, allowing you to attack by fire without being at risk of a charge. Or, if you're already in charge range, you can use your movement and your jump packs to get your Thallax easily and swiftly out of danger. Let's talk a little bit about using the Thallax cohort on the defense. More so for their strengths rather than their weaknesses, the Thallax Cohort is not at all suited for static point defense of key terrain and objectives. Their potent but short-range weapons and their maneuverability are wasted in such a role. In addition, they simply don't have the staying power, by which I mean detachment size, to use their tactical strength to hold an objective in the face of a determined enemy attack. If you are determined to use the Thallax Cohort in a defensive role, the main role I can see them for is as a mobile reserve. Because of their high maneuverability, they can be kept to the rear of the battle, out of harm's way, but ready to react to any part of the table if the enemy makes a breakthrough, or if a key friendly unit is neutralized. Now let's look at using the Thallax Cohort in the offense. The main role I see for this detachment is as a mobile strike force or kill squad. Because of their high maneuverability, they're going to be able to move over enemy units and through terrain to get into the enemy's rear area to target important but vulnerable enemy detachments. In the diagram on the left, you can see the Thallax maneuvering over both friendly and enemy units to get into a firing position on some enemy self-propelled artillery. The same principle can be applied to enemy objectives, however. If your opponent neglects to properly retain their objectives, the Thallax might be able to maneuver in and quickly occupy them, forcing the enemy to divert sufficient forces to retake it, reducing their forces on the front line and making your life easier. The second major use I see for the Thallax is as infantry support to armor. Unfortunately, we don't have these models out just yet for the Mechanicum, but they could serve in this role just as well for some Solar Auxilia or Astartes armor detachments. Because of their high movement value, the Thallax will be able to keep pace with the armor on the advance, while still retaining the ability to fire. They can thus provide anti-infantry, anti-walker, or even additional anti-vehicle firepower as needed to support the armored push. Let's wrap up by summarizing how we're going to position our Thallax Cohort. Like with most infantry, we want to ensure that we keep them in cover or in a structure to help improve their durability. Although with their decent save, we can get away with being a little more bold with them when needed. We also want to make the best use of their maneuverability by ensuring that we keep them centrally positioned if using them in a defensive role, as this will allow them to maneuver effectively to either side of the table to counter any enemy breakthroughs. If on the offense, pair them with armor to support a rapid advance, or with other valuable detachments as an escort against swarming infantry or light vehicles or walkers. They will also pair well with a detachment of Ursarax, providing fire support to a swift-moving flank assault that utilizes the excellent maneuverability that both detachments share. Overall, the Thallax Cohort is a fairly straightforward detachment, without many upgrades or special rules. What it does well. It moves quickly and hits hard. The best use of it is going to be to push forward and use its maneuverability to target important but isolated enemy units or neglected objectives. Always keep in mind, though, that they are not overly durable. It is he who is daring, but not rash, who lives through danger. That's all for now, Commanders. Dismissed.